this video, I'm going to be breaking in my brand new 6-inch high-tech diamond saw. And to break it in, I'm going to be cutting open a wide variety of different minerals, and I am so excited because some of these I've never cut open before. And I also got the vise set up with my 6-inch saw, and I've never used that kind of feature before with any lapidary saws, so we'll be testing that as well. So all together, we're going to be cutting some zebra calcite, Malawi agates, a Lake Superior agate nodule, a few Lake Superior agates and host rock or Thunder Egg Lake Superior agates, an Idaho agate nodule, a little block of rainforest jasper from Australia, sow belly agate from Colorado, and this gorgeous piece of labradorite. I don't even know. I can't even say it. So let's get this beautiful, brand new, clean saw filled up with water and get it all dirty. Start cutting. So we have our first few cuts in the books, and my first impression of the saw is it is so quiet. It is so quiet. Granted, the stuff we've cut first is very soft material, but I'm very excited. Look at how pretty that is. This is for a cabochon, and I need to get a little bit better with my straight lines, but practice makes perfect, and we are going to be using this saw a lot. If you want to see more videos with it, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button. Look at that. That's just insane. That's a real mineral. Isn't that crazy? Well, we got these amazing pieces of zebra calcite. I have a lot more of this stuff and a lot more of this stuff, but I'm saving the majority of it, and with this stuff, especially zebra calcite, the premium pieces for other longer videos. But how pretty is that? So pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So ridiculously pretty. It's like agate, but calcite. Looks like agate, but calcite. So yeah, got a lot of fun videos coming up. So I'm just, like I said before, we are putting this saw through the ringer. Now, what I'm gonna do, I have these two Malawi agates. They are almost the same size and everything. I'm gonna run one through normally like this, and then the other one I'm gonna run it through with the vise, and we'll see what the cuts look like. We'll see what the cut faces look like, and I'll let you know how I feel about using a vise versus what I've been doing for years is just using my hands. So I'll put them both up at the screen at the same time, and we'll see how long it takes for each. Well, I suppose you can't do a great reveal with the with the vise because it flops off, but hey, there's the one off the vise. Oh, that's a little calcite crystal inside there. It's really, it's got a lot of depth. It's really pretty. I'll probably polish this one. Really surprising, to be honest. I thought that was going to be a lot more awkward, and I love how this thing just slides over and tucks away up here and gets out of the way if you don't want it. So let's take a peek at this other one, and then we'll inspect the cut faces to see which one has more saw marks or not. Well, I think one thing I like about using my hands is that I can kind of tuck it away and then we get a better reveal. But oh my gosh, let me zoom in on that bad boy. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Wow, that's a premium Malawi agate. That's crazy. I'm definitely Definitely gonna polish that. Well, let me let me dry off these faces and we'll inspect them. For you can see right there those saw marks. You can see those streaks in there. What I don't see is surface fracturing. These are saw blade marks, not surface fractures. Those are these saw blade marks are super easy to get out in the polishing process. That is sweet. So that's exciting. The other one with the vise, it was a very smooth cut. I didn't even have to think about it. I just made sure the pressure I was applying to it was the same the whole time. This one's hard to tell if there's even any saw blade marks. It's crazy. There's kind of some. That actually seems like a better cut, to be honest. That's insane. Like, less saw blade marks. In the saw blade marks, you can see some in there. The saw blade marks comes from as you're cutting, your hands on a micro level are doing minor adjustments and stuff, and just like little fidgets and stuff. It has this, every time you use a vise, it's going to have a little pop-off mark. But I don't see a ton of saw blade marks in it. That was, I think, a better cut. So the vise, actually, so far, and I'll do a few more tests, because I have that block of Rainforest Jasper. We'll do some cuts with this, and this stuff is so pretty. We'll see if it gives it saw blade marks in that as well, because this is softer, so I think it would do more damage to that. So now we're going to put it to the test, and we're going to cut a bigger, for the saw, Idaho agate nodule and a Lake Superior agate nodule. So we'll cut those and we'll do the reveals together. I'm going to cut these one manually by hand. We will check out our Lake Superior agate and then a little bit to talk about with that Idaho agate. So let's see if this one's a stud or a dud. Oh my gosh. Those are some really, really beautiful bands. Can you imagine that is inside that? Are you kidding me? Those bands are so beautiful. Even like down here, a little bit of smoky or amethyst in those bands. That's awesome. Another, for sure, gonna polish that Lake Superior agate. And I don't see a lot of fractures in there, just those micro saw blade marks. So some eyes down here as well. That's awesome. So the question that I had with this Idaho agate and the 6-inch saw is this too big? It's long and it's a little thick, and I had a placement for the cut that I wanted to get with it, and the saw kind of got away from me. Now, the 6-inch saw has a really thin blade, so it doesn't, it's not as stiff, and it kind of can pull away on you. Now, it's not the end of the world, with this cut right here, but it is something to be aware of. So stuff this size is probably stuff I'm not going to be cutting when it's this long and that round. This way, for sure. But with that, not so much. But either way, let's check this out. See, oh man, that is awesome. And it's definitely not going to take it looks like a little bunny's head. It's not going to, a hefty bunny, Arnold bunny. But not going to take away from the polish that this will have. They're just different sizes. You're not going to know that the cut wasn't where I wanted it to be at. But just something to think about. So for those of you who have been following along with my videos, I have the 4/5-inch trim saw and the 10-inch slab saw. Now there is actually a purpose for why I wanted to get this 6-inch saw. The 5-inch saw, I always use the 5-inch blade on it. Sometimes it's not quite hefty enough for some of the cuts I want to do. And the 10-inch saw, sometimes it's a little bit much. So I wanted to test the 6-inch saw out to see, is this the perfect in-betweener and like the perfect saw to start at? Because I get so many questions and emails and messages about where's the best place to start, and I'm always like, I got the 5 and the 10, I don't have the 6. Now I can actually give testimony to that 6-inch saw, and so far I'm loving it. Now I know it's not going to be able to cut the biggest stuff in the world, but I can cut the small stuff in the world, and it's a really great saw, and that blade is so thin it can be used as a trim saw if you want it to. So I have more opinions on this as I'm going to use it, and I have a few more things to say about it as well at the end. A very special thing about it that I've noticed so far, but I'm going to save it for the end. But I'm going to get to cutting that rainforest jasper from Australia, and I'm going to use the vise on that. I'm excited because that stuff's so pretty. Well, the vise is a vise. It it definitely adds a little bit more time to the process, but I think it gives some pretty good cuts. I mean, it's got some saw marks in there, but these are going to be for cabochons, so it's going to get worked out either way. I think what it does when you're trying to make good slabs, little slabs like this, I think it gives you a lot more control. So it helps you make sure that, like, at least you're not straying with your hands. It's locked in, it's viced in, clamped down, and it gives you some good clean slabs. Now I'm really happy with those slabs. It's going to make my life a little easier when it goes to make cabochons. So, and how pretty is this rainforest jasper? It's so beautiful. And I have a lot of these little blocks, so I am very excited to make a lot of slabs and a lot of cabs again. Another future video. So many projects coming up. But now I have these 4 Malawi agates that I want to cut open. So let's slice these open, and we'll show you all of them when we're done cutting. And I won't peek at them. I'll save it for you. Well, one of our Malawi agates cracked on us. That's why. It's full of calcite crystals. I was like, man, this is a geode agate for sure. If you get rid of all that calcite in there, you'd have some sweet quartz crystals. Here is that first one that we cut open. Oh yes, look at those beautiful bands. Oh, those are really sweet. Another one to be polished. Oh, the pile gets bigger. Oh, that's unique. Those yellows are so pretty in that little guy. And our other one here. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. I love that pocket right there. That is so pretty. My goodness. So now we're gonna cut some easier stuff. This is softer material because it's a lot of host rock in there, but we have agate running through it, so it should be fun. Well, if you're wondering, that took 3 minutes to cut those 3. Not too bad. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Just, I bet you didn't think, right? Same as before. I bet you didn't think it'd be that pretty inside this. That's so ridiculous. These ones felt harder. Well, I don't know why. That's so confusing. It's like mainly host. This one, you can see it's got some like bands and quartz in there. Oh my gosh, what in the world? That's pretty little pocket. That's it? That is ridiculous. I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently. This is the quick cut. The other 2 were the hard cuts, and they had nothing inside it. That is so funny. Well, we have our last cut that we're going to be doing on our brand new, not clean, 6-inch saw. This is So Belly agate from Colorado. Very excited to see what is inside this. I'm sure it looks like this. I've never actually cut any of this stuff before. I have a few other pieces I'll be cutting in the future. Same with all this stuff. Everything that I have in this video, I have longer videos planned for this stuff, and I'm really excited about it. So let's get this guy, and I think I'm just gonna do it right down the middle just for fun, and get a good display piece that we can polish up both sides. This one was just under 2 minutes for the cut. And pretty smooth. Oh, that's so pretty. Looks like this has some natural fractures in there. That is really, really pretty though. That's awesome. Got some purple in there. Wonder if that would be considered amethyst. That is really nice. I like that a lot. Well, I had a ton of fun cutting open all these random minerals on my brand new saw, testing it out, testing out that vise.